At number 16 to the Seattle Seahawks, they swept in and stole Byron Murphy from the rest of the draft. Dobbs, you want to talk about this one first?
Yeah, one of my guys throughout the whole process. I said he was going to go earlier than a lot of people thought. I don't know where a lot of people thought he was going to go, but I think there's still, maybe right in that area where he should have gone. And I think even should have gone a little bit earlier. But if you're a Seahawks fan, let me just say it like this. You got one of the best players in the whole draft. You got a guy who, again, like I was just talking about with Latu, potential perennial all-pro, Pro Bowler type of player. A guy who's going to come in, just wreak havoc on those trenches with Leonard Williams right next to him. He's going to have so many one-on-one opportunities. Boye Mafe, Uchenna Nwosu on the outside. This four-man pass rush is going to be electric. You guys already have a great, minus the safety situation, a good secondary. Like, you guys can fill that out in the later rounds of the draft. You guys are going to figure it out. The Seahawks defense is really, really coming back to form, like vintage Seahawks defenses that, Seahawks fans love. So,
I think a lot of us thought that the Seahawks were going to address the interior offensive line, especially with Troy Fautanu available. I wonder if the medical issues scared them away from him, or I'm leaning with the fact that they got a defensive head coach who just came from the Ravens, who had a dominant pass rusher in Justin Madubuike, and was like, you know what? Let me go get my own guy. We already have the secondary built up. Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy the second. Draymond Jones is there. Boye Mafe, like you said. But when you look at the interior of that line, I think teams are more shifting to having that dominant inside player over the edge rusher because ooh, my apologies. It just creates so much instant pressure for the quarterback when those guards and centers start to crumble in and you're forcing them to scramble and create. And if you don't have one of a creative quarterback, that creates a lot of problems for an offense.
no, absolutely. And that's exactly what Byron Murphy is. He's just a pocket crusher. That's one of the when I was going over his all 22, that's the main thing is I want to see him develop a deeper bag of moves. He doesn't have the deepest bag of moves, but one thing he does have is even when he doesn't fully win the rep, he's going to collapse that pocket and make the quarterback start moving around. So he's just a disruptor.
And I think some people may worry about his size. He's a little bit smaller. He's built like a bulldog. Like he's small. Like that was when we were watching him at the combine. We're like, oh, he's kind of a smaller guy. But when you watch
He's
Byron
built like
Murphy
a
tape,
bulldog.
one of the craziest things you will see Byron Murphy do is Byron Murphy will be on the ground and still make the tackle somehow. Like he will just come up and tackle the guy after being pushed to the ground. Like he will leverage himself where he'll let the guy push him to the ground where he'll just pop back up and tackle the guy. It's very, very interesting. And I think the Seahawks got a steal at 16. He should not have made it here.
Yeah, no, he shouldn't. I don't know why so many people were not like much higher on Byron Murphy. I don't know why he was kind of like not a popular player in this year's class per se. Because if you were cutting on the tape, you were seeing the upside.
This definitely would have been a better use of a pick at 8.
Absolutely. Funny enough,